What's up? Phoenix Bars, a new up and coming. I'm gonna call myself a scholar. I have a couple thoughts on Sonetta TV, uh, the Kemet on trial. I want to say first that I honestly believe that the Kemet side is honestly wasting a lot of time that we possibly don't have, even debating the Hebrews, because they have chosen to believe in things that evidence clearly show that are not true. And even out their own mouths, they continuously say that it, it doesn't matter what amount of facts that you give to them, that they believe what they believe. Like Shaka almost says, that is a religious mind. There's no battling with that. You're not going to, you're wasting, I feel. I understand, we're all brothers and, we're trying to promote unity, but for people like myself, young scholars up and coming, you're standing the chance of losing a lot of powerful scholars that you can have by continuously wasting time with this Hebrew paradigm. They're not, they don't, their belief is not based in reality. So that's my first thing. My second thing is these Hebrews want to keep on hiding behind, oh, Kemet was on trial, oh, Kemet was on trial. But if I murder somebody and then I frame somebody else for that murder that I committed, and I testify against this person in a court, if that person is smart enough to catch on to the fact that I possibly did the crime, or if their lawyers worth a damn, their lawyer's going to look into me, question me, and at the end of the day, I will go to jail for that crime, even though I'm the one who put you in that position. See, and that's what kills me about the Hebrews. They don't live in this real world. I mean, it's clear that I was raised Christian. So I'm gonna say that. Let me just say that first of all. I was raised Christian. My grandmother was a woman of the Bible, but she wasn't religious minded in the way to where facts, she would ignore facts for her beliefs. And I thank her for that. But so that's one thing. They want to keep on hiding behind the fact that, oh, Kemet's on trial, Kemet's on trial. Okay, whatever. A debate is a debate. And that's, moves me to my next point. With dealing with these debates, they have to be structured way better to where there is a definite winner and there is a definite loser. Now, my suggestion is to have maybe 4 judges, one from each paradigm, and objective, elders that will that are willing to not always side with their paradigm, one of the first videos I ever watched on Sunetta TV was Brother Reggie breaking down the mystery system. And he goes into this whole breakdown of actually what a paradigm is. And that he was so true. He was so right. He was so right because people are stuck in paradigms, and they that's fine for some people. All I'm suggesting it is that for people who are not stuck in that paradigm, you're possibly going to lose a lot of writers, a lot of scientists, just by continuing to battle people who are just, and it's to the point where it's like, it's almost like y'all being bullies because they these people have clearly don't have any scholarship. They believe what they believe. They're stuck in oral tradition that has no proof to back it up. Because, you know, I believe in oral tradition from an African perspective where the oral traditions were actually based on fact. But I'm just to the point where I'm just tired of these, for lack of these niggers with a following. Like Nazi, he speaks very well. And hold on, no, not even really getting into naming names, but that's what kills me, because there's some, I can't say intelligent, but there are some Hebrews that I can tell from my discernment that know things, and they're choosing to stay in their paradigm because they're making money off of it. Point blank period. And that's just what it is to me. They're making money off of it. They have X amount of followers, and they don't want to lose any money. And to me, like Shaka almost says, you can't keep these people. They have no right teaching black people. I agree with him. They have no right even standing in front of a room of the what we are becoming as a species. They don't, because I know for a fact that they're, as of right now, it's a small group, but the group is getting larger of people who are awakening to the truth about things. The internet has. I'm even surprised that the the powers that be in the government structure even let the internet exist the way it does. I'm really like surprised, because there's I can't understand how stupid people are, and how people want to stay in their paradigms. People want to believe in the government when case after case, fact after fact, the Gulf of Tonkin being declassified, everything that's been declassified. Well, I think it is, every 20 years, things get, after 20 years, things will get declassified. So that means we can go 20 years back in our history and look at certain events. And if you follow the steps, you will have the actual evidence that our government was complicit in come on, bringing hair. I mean, every drug is in America because of our government. I mean, I honestly, it really gets to me that people are choosing to stay in their paradigms just for what I call minor comfort, a false sense of comfort, because the real comfort for us is going to come in a new Black Wall Street. I They don't want us to have anything. You know, I'm kind of rambling on, but let me say a couple more things. I agree with Sonetta. I saw a video last night where he pretty much was like, he was talking. It was before the debate, but he was talking how people don't want to hear y'all go back and people don't. I'm getting tired of hearing y'all argue over shit that is clear for anybody with a half a brain can see that, you know, what is what are the facts. I'm tired of hearing. I'm tired of the double talk. I'm tired of the, oh, I'm not going. You ask a question and the question doesn't even get answered, and I just find it funny. The Hebrews are hypocrites. They are hypocrites and they are crybabies. I just feel like, how could you do? I just, but I understand because, like I said, I was raised Christian, but unlike a lot of so-called Christians, I actually read the Bible. I know that's the first thing when somebody tells me they're Christian, I always ask them, well, how much of the Bible have you read? Have you at least read, the first 4 or 5 books? Have you at least read what, the foundation piece of what you're supposed to believe in? No. And 9 out of 10 times the answer is no. I don't see how people can read, especially the Old Testament, by the time the New Testament was created, because it was created, by the time the New Testament was created, the people who constructed it you could tell they were better at pushing the bullshit than they were in the Old Testament. But the Old Testament, I don't see how people can read the Old Testament, Exodus. How can you read the story of Exodus and think that your God is loving? And I don't get it. I don't get it. Between, your God telling you to kill a whole race. I don't even know how to classify it, but a whole people told your patriarchs to go wipe out a whole people. A whole people. So you can take their promised land. So you can get into the promised land. That's not a God I would. I want to worship. I'm sorry. I can't understand how a God can kick his creation out of paradise because of a being that he made that he can't control, trick them. I can't understand that. Even further, I can't understand how, if you look at Genesis, the so-called serpent, regardless of the consequences, because we're talking about a schizophrenic God that you worship. But in that story, the devil, the serpent, Nakash, told the truth to Adam and Eve. The God of your Bible lied to Adam and Eve. Point blank, period. You will surely die. And my little hunch, which I have, I've been working on some things, is that he meant that if you eat off that tree, I will kill you, because you will surely die because I will kill you. I just, I think that was him threatening them, and they just weren't even smart enough to catch on to the threat. I can't stand behind a God that would wipe out the whole world but 8 people. Even though evidence, shows that there were floods, but as far as a worldwide flood, it's kind of, it's a little suspect. But yeah, I can't understand. I can't understand how people believe and think. They don't even look into the history of their religion. Like, I don't understand how anybody can stand behind Christianity after the Spanish Inquisition, after the Crusades. It's several periods of pure evilness from the leaders of Christianity. It's multiple cases of evil from the church fathers of Judaism. We're not even going to get started on Islam. I mean, you're pretty much the civilization y'all were born out of was was the Arabs, Lawrence of Arabia, looking to, like, people see. And this is pretty much, I'm gonna finish up with this, but this what kills me with people. People think movies are just movies. People think TV shows are just TV shows, and they're not. It's propaganda. It's them throwing the truth in your face and saying, oh, look how dumb these people are. They're watching this crap, and we're telling them everything that we have done and we're going to do to them. You have to watch movies over. You have to go back in history. You have to study history. Study the founders of your religion. I'm not talking about your patriarchs. I'm talking about I'm talking about AD. Study the AD church fathers. And then, if you still stuck in that paradigm, you would never be free. That's just my thing. Study history and then watch some of these movies over. Because I've been studying Egypt, pretty much every civilization for the past 10 years. And after I got a certain point in re-educating myself, and then I watch certain movies over again, it will blow your mind. It will blow your mind. Watch Stargate. Study Kemet and watch Stargate. Study what's another one? Study the monarchs, and then study Rome, and then watch Hunger Games. I mean, actually study and then watch some of these movies over again. And if you don't get chills, and if you don't, it doesn't make you think different. If it doesn't start to hurt your heart to even turn the news on, then I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sorry. I feel sorry for you. But like I said, this is my first video. I know it wasn't that good because I'm everywhere. I didn't have my notes. I ain't really. This is my first. I'm just trying to really push myself to start getting it in because I've done a lot of research and I think it's about time I start sharing it. So yeah. But once again, it's Phoenix Bars, the Paradigm Killer. Hotep.